You know, I really do love Disney. I've loved the company pretty much my entire life. They were a big part of my childhood, being a 90s kid and all, giving us films like Aladdin, Lion King, 101 Dalmatians, Pinocchio, The Little Mermaid, and Mulan. As an adult, I love Disney for another reason, and that's the nonstop laughingstock they turned themselves into by taking all of the animated films that defined the company in the first place and proceeding to wipe their ass with them in remakes by race-swapping main characters for the shit of it, injecting modern-day sensibilities where they're not supposed to be, and somehow taking away what made those films likable in the first place. Well, I've watched the latest unnecessary remake in a long line of unnecessary remakes, and I bet you're all wondering, is it worth a damn? Well, yeah, in a way, but mostly, no. Lilo and Stitch. Let's talk about it. I don't think I've had this big of a headache since that one night back in the Marine Corps where I drank too much Jack Daniels and woke up in a wheelbarrow, naked, and in someone else's front yard. It's truly mesmerizing just how badly Disney can take something so beloved, so charming, so likable, and just go, nah, we don't need any of that in the remake. Before I try to achieve a new world record in fastest rising blood pressure, do me a favor and like this video. I'm a small content creator and things like that definitely help with exposure in the algorithm. The same goes for the Disney adults that lap up every last drop of slop they throw at us nowadays and proceed to thumbs down everything I have to say. Those thumbs down, they help too. Engagement is engagement. I'll take it. But in all sincerity, I appreciate it on both accounts. Let's get into this.
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
Now, this is the section where I typically go over the plot, but there's been some changes that Disney made that kind of screw with the original plot of the film from back in 2002. So let me break this down as quickly and efficiently as possible so we can jump straight into that conversation. There's a bunch of aliens. All of the aliens are mad at this one scientist alien because he created a dangerous alien. Once the dangerous alien realizes he's been targeted for exile, he breaks out of his containment, steals a ship, and sets course for Earth. Once the leader alien sees this, she sends the scientist alien and another alien who specializes in Earth to go after the dangerous alien. In order to hide from the two aliens that are chasing him, the dangerous alien disguises himself as a dog and goes to live with a young girl and her sister. While evading the scientist alien and Earth specialist alien, the dangerous alien learns the power of friendship, the unity that comes with family, and the meaning of unconditional love. That's it. That's the plot of this film.
Damn, I'm good!
If I had to judge 2025's Lilo and Stitch on its own merits without admitting the existence of the original film, I'd probably say it's, decent. The biggest positive is Maya Kealoha, who plays the part of Lilo, and her brilliant on-screen chemistry with what I'm sure was a bunch of sticks with tennis balls attached to them acting as Stitch. Sydney Agudong as Nani does well here too, but I can't for the life of me figure out why certain people have such an issue with her casting. I guess she's too white? Really? Okay. She was born and raised in Hawaii, you fucking bottles of high fructose corn syrup. I bet those same people were clapping like mentally deranged seals when a Latina was cast as Snow White and an African American as Little Mermaid, but whatever. I guess Nani is just too white or something. Anyway, Not Brown Enough did a relatively decent job in this remake, even though Disney screwed around with her character a bit. The most surprising part of this whole film is the return of Chris Sanders. If you were wondering why Stitch sounds just like he did in the 2002 film, that's because the same voice is behind the character, so I guess my hat goes off to Disney for that one. All three of these performances culminate in a very believable dynamic of family, with all the happiness, laughs, struggles, and heartbreaks that come with it. But, dear viewer, that's where the positives end and the negatives begin, because this isn't a new film. It's a remake of one of Disney's most beloved animated films of all time. Now, do you remember when I said back in my entirely too fast plot synopsis that the alien scientist was sent to Earth in pursuit of the dangerous alien? That might seem a bit off to you, and that's because it is. Instead of Gontu, a 20-foot tall brick shithouse of a shark alien being the main villain of the story like he was back in 2002, Disney opted to go with someone much more villainous and intimidating. Zach Galifianakis. What? Yeah, okay. Let's make the guy who spent most of his career playing the part of the bumbling idiot with learning difficulties the main villain here. That makes sense.
So there were two of us in the wolf pack. I was alone first in the pack.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
So instead of getting an overarching, intimidating, ruthless shark that's hell-bent on fighting Stitch because he's been ordered to, We get this fat asshole trying to traverse the motions of being a human as Jumba behind a cloning device, and it just comes so painfully misplaced. Oh, and can someone tell me what the hell is going on with his teeth here? I know I'm not the one to talk, but for God's sakes, did he get his dental work done in Turkey or something?
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Bubbles is changed up here too for reasons, I guess. Instead of being the caseworker from social services, he's a CIA agent or something that was sent in to monitor the entire alien situation. No harm, no foul, I guess. Courtney B. Vance does a good job as the character, but it seemed like an unnecessary replacement to make. Speaking of the whole social services thing, I feel like that was more of the focal point of the film, which contrasts with the original. See, the 2002 film was mostly about Stitch's inability to be accepted, his struggles with being an outsider, just trying to find his way in a life that he never asked for in the first place. Instead of getting that universally acceptable message, we get hammered over the head with adult themes like paying your bills on time and having proper health insurance, all surrounding the fact social services was going to haul Lilo's ass out of there. Hell, even the ending is changed up because I guess Not Brown Enough goes off to college in exchange for the state government taking care of Lilo's medical bills. The pacing is all off as well, exchanging the absolute madness and energetic pace of the original for slower, exposition-filled scenes that had most of the kids in my theater trying to peel the paint off the walls after about an hour of watching this damn thing.
Let me tell you something. I am not your big. I'll hit you. I will hit a child. I've never done that before, but I would punch you in the face.
The film itself doesn't look too terrible, I guess. Stitch is animated well, even though there was a few laughable moments where the actors looked like they were interacting with air because, like I said, they're essentially talking to a few sticks and some tennis balls during production. I will say that things do look bleak and uninspiring too. This film falls victim to the same thing that made The Little Mermaid so hard to look at. And there's some very obvious green screen usage in certain areas, which is more than likely attributed to the reshoots that took place a year or so ago. You know, maybe I'm being too harsh. This is a live-action remake made for kids, I guess, but watching Disney destroy all of the things that built its empire one by one has ground down my patience over time. Plus, it's what you come here for. I don't pull my punches, and this film will not be the exception. Now let's move on to my final thoughts before that headache comes back.
He's out of line, but he's right.
So, Lilo and Stitch, we happy?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfuckers.
Disney does what Disney does here, and instead of making a faithful adaptation of one of their most popular films, they screw around with it, taking things out that people loved and adding things that don't make sense. If you've got a kid, you could do a lot worse, because this film is better than most of the recent live-action remakes, but then again, that's not saying much. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for checking out my review. I'll talk to y'all later.